Good morning, everybody. Matt Modi here to give you my favorite NBA player prop picks for today. We are talking Saturday, November 22nd. Happy Saturday, everybody. The Splash Zone is back in your life. I'm going to have 4 NBA player prop picks for you guys to lock in for today's NBA betting slate. We're rocking with 3 plus money bangers. We got 1 under in store for today. I'll walk through my leans at the end of every video as well. Before we get into that, we got to do a recap from yesterday, which was a good day. It feels nice. That's now been 2 days in the green in a row. We cashed out Josh Giddey in the rebounds and assists. We lost Bam, who I don't think I've won a bet on Bam in my entire life, but yet the looks, everything keeps looking good for him. Isaiah Joe came through. Steph Curry barely came through, meaning he went under his assist prop. He had exactly 4. It was a good day yesterday. Jarrett Allen ended up getting ruled out, so we just got a refund on that one. But we were up a little bit over 2 units yesterday, 2.05 units to be exact. It was a very, very good day yesterday. Hopefully we can continue that, get ourselves just a nice stretch of days where we are in the green, because it was rough heading into yesterday, rough heading into Thursday when we've been up the last 2 days. So hopefully we are able to continue that. Appreciate everybody who has been rocking with me. And we'll just get right into the slate. So I'm going to look at Props Madness here, just to kind of talk you through the plays that I'm looking at. And the first play we're locking in here is actually also in this first game, Clippers versus Hornets. But I'm taking LaMelo Ball, and I'm taking him on the assists. Now, the best offer, so what I did was took him over 8.5 at plus 118 odds at FanDuel. You could take him over 7.5 at minus 135. He's literally done that in every single game he has played this year. Literally 9 for 9 hit rate in terms of the over 7.5. I don't love the minus 135 odds, and I think it's a good value going up 1 more assist for the plus 118 price on FanDuel, because he still hit 9 or more assists in 5 of 9 games. So right off the bat, if we're just looking at like hit rates and stuff like that, which obviously that's not how you should play this, but just to kind of go through that process, it's a 55% hit rate that we're getting at plus 118 odds. Right off the bat, that's a good value. So now you're saying, all right, let's look into this a little bit more. Now, the scary part about backing him is he's currently on a minutes restriction, 27 minutes, 28 minutes, 27 minutes. So he's not going to play 33, 36 minutes like he did at the beginning of the year. He rolled his ankle back in November 1st, missed a couple weeks, has been slow rolling it since then. Maybe we get up to 30 minutes today, but that's probably the max of what we're playing. Even in a minutes restriction, I'm cool with it, because obviously when he's playing, he's doing everything. So for him, 28 minutes is basically the same usage rate as him when he's playing 36 minutes, because he's just not doing anything off the ball. He's running everything. And in the 3 games that he's come back and played limited minutes, 10 assists, 8 assists, 9 assists. Now his potentials were a little bit low in 2 of these games, 14 here. And 14 to get 9 is not terrible. This game was low. We're hoping for more than 11 potential assists. But 17 in his last game. And as bad as the Pacers are, they're actually a tough matchup for assist props. They're top 10 in terms of assists allowed. And in terms of assists to the point guard position, they're top half. And he's even done this in tough matchups for assist props, like the Bucks, the 4th fewest assists allowed to point guards. He had 10 assists. The Magic are a tough assist matchup. They're second. They allow the 2nd fewest. He had 13 assists against them. So the matchup, good or bad, or I should say the bad matchups haven't really impacted him. But this matchup against the Clippers is very, very good. You hover over the matchup here. We see a lot of green for assists for the Clippers. They allow the 8th most assists allowed in general. They allow the 2nd most assists specifically to the point guard position, which is where LaMelo Ball plays. You look at the like assist zone where his assists come from. It might seem scary because 40% of his assists come in the restricted area, and the Clippers allow the 7th fewest buckets in the restricted area. But I looked into that, and I said, all right, let's only look at the hard matchups for LaMelo Ball, like the games he's played against teams in the top 20 in terms of buckets allowed in the restricted area. He's gone over in 2 of 3 games, and he's averaging 10 assists per game. So it doesn't really matter for him the specific spot of where the assists are allowed, but the fact that the Clippers allow a ton of assists, and the fact that he's had 8 or more in every single game and 9 or more in 5 of 9 games, and we're getting this at plus 118 odds, and we should be getting Brandon Miller back, who's going to help the assist prop for LaMelo Ball, somebody that can catch and shoot for him. Terrence Mann is doubtful, who's just another guard that's going to take away who could possibly take away usage. Now, the Terrence Mann probably doesn't, being out probably helps the backup guards like a Colin Sexton, like a Sion James, who's questionable, more so than it helps LaMelo Ball because they're not going to share the floor at the same time. It's just one less guard for them to play. So I like LaMelo a lot in this game to go over 8.5 assists. Hopefully that comes through. Next up, Knicks versus Magic. I actually have 2 plays in this game. We'll start with the under, which is in this game, and it's Karl Anthony Towns under 21.5 points. You can get that at -102 odds at FanDuel. That is the play that I locked in. If you want to be a little bit safer, you could go up 1 point, get that at -125. I don't think that makes sense from a value perspective personally. I think the under 21.5 makes more sense at the -102. And here's what we're looking at for Karl Anthony Towns. So right off the bat, he's only hit 22 or more points in 6 of 14 games. So right off the bat, we know that he's not averaging above this number. Now, he's averaging exactly 21.5 points per game. That number is helped by 39 points against the Heat and 33 points against the Wizards. Now, this Heat game, what's very, very, very important, who did not play in that game? Jalen Brunson. That's obviously a massive, massive deal. If you only look at games in which Brunson has played, it's over in only 4 of 12 games and averaging 20 points per game. Again, we are fading this player. That stuff looks good. Now let's look into the games in which he went over. The Bulls, horrible defense, especially bad against centers. The Wizards, among the worst defenses in the NBA. The Nets, among the worst defenses in the NBA. So if we just look at defensive net rating and right off the bat, we take out the top 5 worst defenses, well, guess what? That's only over in 2 of 10 games, meaning if he's not playing the top 5 worst defenses in the entire NBA, he's only gone over in 2 of 10 games. Now let's look at teams in terms of how they guard the center position, which is a very, very important point to make here. You hover over this matchup against the Magic, you see a lot of red. D-rank versus DPT, the play type where Karl Anthony Towns scores the majority of his points is as a spot-up shooter. Guess what? They allow the 3rd fewest points per game to spot-up shooters. The shot zone, where the majority of his points come from in the restricted area, top 10 defense. You want to go down to D-rank versus position. How do the Magic guard the center position? They are the 4th best defense in the NBA, meaning they allow the 4th fewest points per game to centers. And you want to compare that to other sources. We're looking at hashtag NBA. We're looking at the center position. We're looking at points. Guess who is agreeing with Props Madness as the 4th fewest? You want to look at another position here, another website, looking at the center position, looking at the points. The Magic down here are the 7th worst. So 4th worst, 7th worst, meaning their matchup, meaning they allow these 4th or 7th fewest. And then, all right, let's look at Karl Anthony Towns against every game he has played against teams in the top half. We're not even looking at the top 10, top 7, which the Magic guaranteed are. We're just looking at the top half. Guess what? 5 games, he has not hit his over in one single game against a team in the top half, guarding the center position. And guess what? The Magic are top 10, top 5, top 4. And that's not even looking at games with or without Jalen Brunson. Now, it just so happens that Brunson has played in all 5 of these games, so it doesn't mess with the numbers. But it's a really, really tough matchup, and I'm having a hard time seeing Karl Anthony Towns have a good game against the Magic. You just look at the way he scores. Above the break threes, not going to get any. In the restricted area, not going to get any. That's 90% of where his shots come from. The Magic are the 9th best or the 4th best defense. You look at similar players. Porzingis went under. Alex Sarr went under. It's not a good matchup for him. So Cat as an under, I absolutely love under 21.5 points. That's play number 2. Next up, we're going with Josh Hart, and we're taking him on the rebounds. Now, it looks scary. We're going over 7.5 at plus 108. This is the exact price that I got. No issues in terms of odds. You're getting the exact same number that I got. You're going to say, well, he's only done it in 5 of 13 games. That doesn't sound good. The biggest thing here and why you see his minutes have aggressively increased in these last 3 games is no OG Anunoby. OG got hurt in this game, and then and then he went over in that game, and then in the 2 games since, 34 and 30 minutes. Now, he's not playing 40 minutes a game like he did under Tibbs, but he's playing more than he did at the beginning of the year. And it's been a weird year for Josh Hart. He had a bad finger injury that kind of left him limited at the beginning of the year. But if you just look at these last 3 games, and these are the games, like OG got hurt in this game, and then he's missed these next 2. 11 rebounds on 16 rebound chances, 5 rebounds on 12. Now, 12 rebound chances is not horrible for somebody like Josh Hart needing to get 8 rebounds, but you'd hope for more. And then in this one, 10 rebounds and 17 rebound chances is perfect. Now, he's gotten 10 in 2 of these games. We're only asking him to get 8. He's not a bad ladder up to 10, not a bad double-double look. I mean, plus 400, plus 375 for Josh Hart to record a double-double without OG Anunoby, I think is a really, really good price. I think this is a very good ladder play if you want to put like a quarter unit on this. I will say that Brunson missed 2 of these games. He missed this game, these 2 games against the Heat. Brunson missed, but he came back for this one, and we're still looking at 10 rebounds and 17 rebound chances for Hart. Now, the assists aren't going to be there like they would with Brunson out, which is why you see his assist prop not at 10 and like down at 4.5. It's because Brunson's back in, and it's a tough matchup for assist props, as I already illustrated. But the rebounds is really good. You look at similar players to Josh Hart, literally 3 for 3 in terms of the over, and it's guys that match him. Like, you can understand how these players are similar. It's Amen Thompson twice, who had actually had double digits in both of those games, and then it's Giddey in one game, 8 rebounds on 13 rebound chances. So I love this play, backing Josh Hart to get to 8 rebounds. I think it's absolutely fantastic for him to go over. That is our third play. And then our fourth and final pick of the video, we are heading to Denver, and we're taking Jokic on the triple-double. This is best offer plus 105 here at Hard Rock and Fanatics. I will say, if you go to Bet365 and you just place a wager on Jokic to score or to go 10 plus rebounds and 10 plus assists, you can get a better price. But that's only offered on Bet365, which I know not everybody can use. But between 365 and Fanatics and Hard Rock, you're able to get this for plus money. So Jokic, right off the bat, we're getting it for plus money. He's done it in 9 of 15 games. Now, he played last night, so he is on the second half of a back-to-back. Well, let's look at how he has done on the second half of back-to-backs. It's been 2 games. One, he went over with 14 rebounds on 26 rebound chances, and then he also had 14 assists in that game. So yeah, he played 32 minutes, and they won by 17. Next game, he had a back-to-back. He went under, still played 34 minutes, and that's what we're looking for here. And oh yeah, he scored 55 points. The Clippers came out and said we wanted to make Jokic beat us by scoring. That's what Ty Lue said, and yeah, that happened. So yeah, I don't think he's going to score 55 points in this game, but I do think he can get to 10 assists. Now, he's actually 0 for 2 in terms of the triple-double against the Kings this year, which is kind of funny because when you look at it not as from a head-to-head perspective, but you just look at the Kings as a matchup, they should be a really, really good matchup for Jokic to record a triple-double. And you can kind of explain away both times he went under. The first game, he only had 7 rebounds on 14 rebound chances. That's an outlier rebound performance, because if you look at Jokic this year, he's only had 2 games where he hasn't gotten at least 10 rebounds. There's one game against the Warriors, and then this game here against the Kings. But you look at last year against the Kings and his rebounds, I mean, 12, 14, 15, 22, 14. So, like, I'm not scared off of him getting at least 10 in this one. And then from the other game in which he went under was this game right here against the Kings. He only had 7 assists. He had 22 potential assists. So it's just a bad conversion rate, which that stuff's going to happen. You're going to have games like that. But that does not make me think that it's a bad matchup for his assist prop. And then you look at the Kings. You hover over the matchup here. Oh yeah, they allow the 8th most assists per game to centers. They allow the 3rd most assists per game overall. You look at them for rebounds. Oh yeah, they allow the 7th most rebounds allowed overall and the 4th most to the center position. You look at similar guys, 3 out of 4 hit their rebound prop over against the Kings. Now, for whatever reason, they're not listing Jokic in this similar players. They're putting Valanciunas, who did go over in one game, under in the other. But Vooch, 14 rebounds. Nurkic, 11 rebounds. And you take a step back, this is something that he has done in 60% of his games. And yeah, he's done it, or he's 0 for 2 in this exact matchup, but none of that scares me off. And I like the fact that he's coming off of having missed it last game in a really, really tough matchup against a really good Rockets team. Still had 9 assists. Like, this guy's just incredible. Even with guys out of the lineup, like no Aaron Gordon, no Christian Brown, he's only played 1 game with both of those guys out. It was this year. And guess what? He had 22 rebound chances and 21 potential assists. He's just an absolute animal. He's the best player in the NBA. And for him to get a triple-double at plus money, I will gladly take advantage of. And that's all we got. So those are our 4 plays for today. It's LaMelo on the assists. It's Josh Hart on the rebounds. It's triple-double for Jokic. And then we're fading Karl-Anthony Towns and his point prop. 4 plays, 4-0 would feel very, very good. We've had a couple 3-1 days. We've had 1 3-0 day. We've had 3 0 for 3 days. We've had a lot of 1 for 4, 1 for 3 days. So let's hope we can have a 4 for 4 day. In terms of leans, the other stuff that I looked at, one game that I avoided here was the Wizards and Bulls, which should be an overs galore, but 2 games against 2 teams that are on a back-to-back. Now, I don't always avoid back-to-backs. Obviously, I'm playing Jokic on one, but both the teams on one is weird. Giddey on the rebounds and assists. I mean, it's a perfect matchup against a soft Wizards team. It bumped up to 19.5. Granted, you're getting it at -102, so it's not a bad price on FanDuel. Giddey's been good. I mean, since he missed it in the first 3 games. Since then, it's over in 7 of 10. One game he missed with 19. One game he missed with 18. So I think their RA is good for Giddey. It's a good matchup for Alexander Sarr. Now, he didn't play last night, but he's not seriously hurt, so he should play tonight. And the Bulls are a good matchup for the way in which he scores. You look at like restricted area, they literally allow the most points per game. Pick and roll man, second most points per game. Points per game allowed to the center position, literally the most. What scared me off was, his over-under 17.5. He's done that only 6 times. And you look at the soft matchups, it's not like he's consistently gone over in the soft matchups. Like we're looking at teams in the, what we want is teams in the top half, meaning like the best matchups, and it's still only over in 2 of 6. He's not a bad matchup for 3s as well. You're getting a really good price on him to make 2. He's only done that in 4 games this year, but the way the Bulls play defense, they just leave these centers wide open. Last year, he played them, I think only once, or in his games against them. 5 attempts, only 2, so that's scary. 4 attempts, and then 8 in his last game against him. Only made 1 because he's not a great shooter, but 8 attempts is pretty good. So those are the 2 leans that I looked at the most. In this Knicks game, I didn't want to have 3 plays 3 plays on the guys on the same team, but it's a bad matchup for Karl Anthony Towns scoring. It's a really good matchup for Jalen Brunson scoring, and over 27.5 is a good price. You want to pump this bad boy up to 30 plus. You look at the way he scores, pick and roll ball handler, 7th worst defense. Isolation, another way that Brunson scores, literally the worst defense. And yeah, they don't allow anything spot up, but like Brunson is spotting up more, still not his game. I thought it was safer to take the under on Towns than the over on Brunson, which is why that's what I did. But it is a very, very good matchup for him to score. But that's all we got. Just rocking with these 4 plays. Hopefully the leans, if any of those spoke to you. If you have a same game parlay boost, you could do Hart rebounds at under and Brunson over. Obviously, those are going to be a little bit of you're going to pay a little bit via correlation. But if you want to pump this up to 10, you want to pump Brunson up to 30, get a little crazy. It's a Saturday. I don't blame you. But again, that's all we got. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to bet responsibly, and have a good one.